With Rich, in order to continue his progress, I'm going to choose 2 key areas today to work on. Okay, those 2 key areas, are going to be around here, around the obliques, around the side of his waist and his hips, and that's to help anchor him down because a lot of his upper body is sitting in on his middle section. So I'm going to go here, around the back, and if I can just turn it to the side here, you'll notice that what I'm going to do next, and once I've worked all of this congestion that's had his upper body piled on top of it, then I'm going to go up there, like that with him, okay? I'm going to lift all that weight off. As I lift all that weight off and work on some of the mid-back sections here, we're then going to go to the throat, yeah? Now you might be thinking, well, how do you work on the throat? Well, all of this tension here in the mastoids, okay, it's very real. People think that tension is just, shoulder-based and tummy-based and back, and so no. This is very, very real here. So I've got to work on his throat, which will help to then realign him. As I realign the throat and I work on the traps, as that gets lighter, now think about it, if something's heavy, it bears you down, right? As I make it lighter, it feels like it can lift. And if it lifts, and it takes the pressure off here. Makes sense, right? So that's the ABC of how it's going to work. What you're going to see now, if you're squeamish, okay, you might want to get a hanky, get a towel, okay, or say a prayer for our boy Rich here.
This is a really tender spot.
Rich has been with me now, was it, how many sessions?
I think I've done about 14.
14, yeah. 14 sessions, so that equates to, if you're doing it once on a weekly basis, is coming up to, that's just over 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Just over 3 months. In my case, I get a lot of people coming to me who've been in pain for 20 odd years, okay? So to be able to make a difference to someone in over 3 months is pretty good. And I don't just mean a difference, I mean a radical difference. Now, we're going to discuss so that you guys pick up on the fact that although myofascial release is something that some of you would have heard of, and yes, it is of benefit, I'm not here to say that myofascial release doesn't work because I know a great many people do get benefit from it. However, what we're here to discuss is how Rich has benefited from the process that I employ and have developed over these years, which is all about resetting and restoring the body back to its natural position for that individual. A therapist, when working with structure, is able to look straight through within seconds, okay? Seconds, and straight away see the potential that's lying within this person who comes to you. And my job is to do it literally at the door.
I remember the first time I met you, Ray, and you opened the door, and the first thing you did, you looked me up and down and you went, I think I can work with that. I think I know what I'm going to do it. And I wasn't sure what to make of you. I was like, we're not used to as humans, people looking us up and down in such a blatant way. But I realised looking back that you were kind of you were looking at my structure and seeing what you could do with that and what work needed doing. For me, I think even from my late teens with various physical stresses and also mental health issues, my body's gradually got tighter and tighter and tighter to the point where when I've taken up running when I've been about 30 years old, it's been really difficult, and I've just been getting injury after injury after injury. Nothing serious, but always overly tight muscles, things pulling on my back, pulling on my hamstrings, pulling on my calves, my planters, you name it, I've injured it.
Patterns don't lie. So when we're looking at our own patterns or I'm looking at other people's patterns, there's a story behind that pattern. It's that simple. And some people want to address that for whatever virtuous reason. It's entirely up to them. And some people don't. It's cool either way, guys. It's cool either way.
I could tell you were very intuitive with your work in that sense, and like you intimated before that rather than a one-size-fits-all, you were going to work and have worked with my structure and with my issues, rather than just fitting me into something that suits you.
Well, one of my clients pointed out a quote from Michelangelo. where he was able to look through the clay or the rock and already see what he was going to create. In a way, that's what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm Michelangelo. Don't quote me on that.
Ray has been gradually and to some extent painfully working those out and resetting the tissues and the muscles back to their essentially their natural and therefore like most productive state. It's quite intense, in the.
But if you look back at his picture, okay, and remember, what makes a really good therapist, I'm going to share this out there with some of you guys who are interested in the training. What makes a good therapist, you might think is just the part, the touch. No. Good therapist is see first. You've got to be able to observe, okay? Now, if you observe Rich's picture, you will notice that everything does compound and meet and compress here in the middle. So, as well as taking care of the other areas that are now also affected, we've got to really consider taking pressure away from a very, very important area such as this side section.
Yeah, that very much does feel like there's pressure being released, like a really, really, like quite a deep release in the muscle.
Because we've got to get the glutes to fire up again. Now, energy can't be in two places at once efficiently or effectively. So, in this respect, I'm releasing some of the energy in the side. So later on, as Rich learns to use his gait again with his legs properly, then the energy will then transfer to the glute. The glute then fires him, and he can propel himself in his running with a much more kind of dynamic sense of I'm using everything, you know? So I'm going to work my way up now, up the body. So now we're going upwards towards the mid back here and the lower part of the traps, and you can see that I'm having to go in order to then go up. Okay, this will also then coincide with the way that I'm going to lift the ribs up too as well, and you can feel the pressure lifting there, right, Rich? Yeah. So we started here, we worked our way up now to the midsection, and join us in a minute when I will have now gone to the throat area here and then see the impact on the body. All right? Lower section done, midsection done, lift in the rib cage done, and now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, I am now working the mastoids and the throat and the upper part of the traps here. You can feel that. Can you feel that tension there?
Yeah.
Which there? Yeah. There shouldn't be any tension. You can see here what I'm doing with my throat. Okay. Quite soft because obviously the years that I've spent with this kind of work. But here I can feel in comparison to that this area here is really tight. Really tight. So this is just going to bear down on the body. So we've gone bing from the middle, bosh to the midsection, coming further up, and now we're up here at the throat. So turn that into vertical and you end up with resetting the whole body. Okay. Feeling is healing, people. Feeling is healing. And right now, Rich is certainly feeling. He's been very brave.
What I have noticed over time is certain areas that my body just would not let Ray into at all, and my body would just react and tense up. Gradually letting him in more and more. I mean, this is a really tender spot. It's an ongoing process, but I can tell already in my shoulders, my chest, my abdomen, and starting in my legs, things have started to relax somewhat.
The other interesting thing about the myofascial reset process as we do it and as we've been doing it with Rich is that it's not just about resetting it to a better posture. It's about saying, well, okay, where has your body come from in order to get to where it is now? because you'll be looking at the pictures of Rich's progress and how he looks from before and after, and you'll notice that where he was before, there is a psychological, psycho-emotional, there is an idea up here that turns the body into what it is when when a person first walks in.
My understanding is the body's just is set in an uncomfortable way because it's holding various physical and mental stresses.
When people come to me, they don't realize at first that what I'm looking at is their entire expression, and I'm looking to reset it all the way back before something in the head, something in the psyche, something in the thoughts, something in the emotion, maybe an event happened in your life which made you feel like you needed to not take up any more space, you couldn't be more open, your head had to wilt because you were in a state of something. I mean, it happens to us all.
Yeah, for me there was very much, I could see it in my posture, but obviously I know because I feel it as well. Something, I don't mind saying, something of a victim mentality, like the world's out to get me, and feeling like if I just shrink and protect myself and cover myself, like I'm no threat to you, please leave me alone, please don't. I think from probably being younger, don't laugh at me, don't ridicule me, these sort of things, and just making myself small, whereas the person I am is actually quite big and larger than life. And that's something that I'm still growing into. It's like I know it and I feel it, but I don't yet fully present it to the world. But
it is, and you got to own that. Deliberately make your right eye focus a little bit more there, and that should feel like a new place for your eye. When your head is down in this kind of posture, even a few degrees, your eyes get accustomed to being here too. So now that I've lengthened his entire body from the waist upwards, his head has now come up and the eyes have also tilted a few degrees as well. Does that feel like a different place for your eyes?
Yeah, I can sense, firstly, strange enough, from here in my torso, it feels more open and upwards almost, and I can tell my eyes are slightly higher. I seem to be taking information from a higher level on the horizon.
Perspective, yeah. Rich, you're just going to take an instruction from me to do something with one part of your body, okay? By doing that something, okay, as in resetting a certain part of Rich's body to the place it should be, his breathing is going to convey whether that's a good thing or a thing that his system wants. So we're going to do something here. If you zoom over to the feet, for example, very quickly. Now, Rich has got feet that are plantar flexed like this. Very common, actually, it's very common. Now, I'm going to get him to move his right foot only. 5 toes and a foot. By doing that, you're going to notice whether Rich feels like he wants to breathe a little bit more, just by moving one part. You ready? I'd like you to move your right foot up first, and then the outside of the foot here, the last, 4th and 3rd toe, outwards until you feel the heel coming up here, like that. Got it?
Yep.
Good. Now I want you to imagine all your toes here, literally stretching out like your hand would. Yeah? So stretching all the toes out like that. Now, by Rich doing that and exposing the entire bottom of his foot, now we're going to see whether it's actually made him want to breathe.
It's really odd. I noticed straight away my lungs expanded further.
Yes.
I found myself just taking an involuntary deeper breath.
Okay. Fluke or for real?
Well, yeah, for real, that's what happened.
The point I'm making here, okay, is that we all use this expression, okay, I'm not in a good place. Yeah? Well, when different parts of your body, okay, major parts of your body, foot's a major one, right? Because you're walking your path, you're on your journey, bang, 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 your heels. When you're certain parts of your body not in a good place, they will reflect that in how much of life you're taking in via the breathing. All I did there was put Rich's foot into a better place, a good place. Now, the devil's in the detail. Everything is slightly. This is slightly. That is slightly. That is slightly. This is slightly. That is slightly. You build on slightly. I hope this has been a great insight for you guys for both the book, the upcoming book, and for the training, and for any of you guys that are seriously thinking of transforming things for the rest of your life, okay? And not just for a few weeks of pain relief, few days of pain relief, whatever it is, okay, that's out there. But if you're really serious, of course, then of course do come and look me up. Thank you, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Richard.
Yes, thank you. Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us in, man.
Yeah,
It's
no problem.
a very personal thing, okay, having a treatment here. And Rich has been really, really good to let us in, let the public in, because right at the beginning, when he did a video for me actually on his phone, and he told me then how he was feeling uncomfortable about that and sharing it with the world. Today, he's done incredible. So I'm going to give him a round of applause because he shared his intimate and personal feelings on this journey, okay, with you guys, okay? And we could be talking 1 view, 2 view, 2.5 view, 3 view, 4 view. I don't know how many people are going to be interested, but the fact is that Richard shared this today, so I've got to commend him on that.
Yeah, I think it's useful for other people to be able to see the progress that you can be made. You know, we get taught that the body's sort of in decline from, you know, as teens, and you know, I'm 42, I'm 43 this year, and I feel like I'm getting stronger and my body's really, really together. And I'm improving, and you know, I want to be, when I'm in my 50s and 60s, I want to be just as fit, if not fitter, and I see no reason why that can't be so.
Absolutely. When he's as old as me, and I'm an old man, guys, I'm 53 in 2 weeks. God, no, less than that. Oh my God, yeah, 53. But this process should give a lot of people hope, a lot of scope for their future, that you can still find that better version of yourself. I hate to get all, you know, philosophical about it and hippie and stuff, but yeah, it's only about finding your best version. And we've got something here that I think is personally quite special, and so does Rich, and so do the rest of my peeps. So now I've got to go and hurt him. So let me get on with my job. Bye bye.
Bye, Rich. May the force be with you, man.
May the force be with you.
Nice, man.